Hey guys, nerfs are live, and I just wanted to talk about them. They got announced and put out today, and what they mean and how they could influence the game. So first we got refreshing spring water going from 4 to 5 mana. Incanter's Flow dodged a nerf. I know, right? Everyone's mad about that, but refreshing spring water going from 4 to 5 means it's harder to get the incanter stuff going. So even if you go canters, you still can't do your big draw stuff until for turn 5. And I think one of the things that's a big deal about this, when you discover it, it's worse. But also, I think Cult Neophyte counterplay is so much stronger now because sometimes now you can wait until Mage is going into their turn 5, and both Apexis Blast and Refreshing Spring Water, which often is like the play they want to do, they can't do. So it can make things really awkward for a mage really quickly. It doesn't have the certainty now. So do you play the refreshing this turn or do you not? There isn't that like guaranteed, like it's always the right play because it gives you information at no cost. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to play. Your opponent can go for something and miss it, and it can definitely be a negative. The biggest, though, positive for this nerf is it now corrupts ring toss. So corrupting ring toss can actually be an advantage. That being said, this is a pretty big nerf, but I think Spell Mage will still be a great top tier deck. So expect to keep seeing it around. This is not a big enough nerf to destroy the deck, and I think that's probably why Blizzard didn't nerf Incanter's Flow, because nerfing Incanter's Flow from 2 to 3 might have just completely destroyed the deck. Next, we got First Day of School, going from 0 to 1 mana, add 3 random 1-cost minions to your hand. This surprised me, just because like the design of it, but it's an interesting nerf, but it's just going to make a Hand of a Doll like 1-drop, like you're no longer going to be seeing a 1/4/1 into Hand of a Doll. So it's still a powerful value card, but using that 1 mana in a tempo matchup is absolutely huge. Not being able to threaten, a 1/4 sometimes or a 1/3 into Hand of a Doll is going to just make the spiraling effect of Paladin so much worse. So decks are going to be able to come back a lot easier. So this is a very, very big nerf. This is actually one of the strongest cards in the deck currently. So this is going to matter. So expect Paladin to be a lot weaker just from this nerf alone. Next, we've got Hysteria going from 3 to 4 mana. I think this is going to matter, but Priest is going to be just fine. Priest actually might be doing better because of all the other nerfs. But from 3 to 4 mana, it makes it a lot. Priest is often playing, 4 of these in a game, so that's 4 mana. But I think, realistically, because opponents are playing so much around Hysteria anyways, often Priests are floating mana waiting. So I think what's going to matter is you play Hysteria, now you can't squeeze in a hero power. Or you play Hysteria, now you can't go Hysteria and redevelop. So it becomes more of a just play Hysteria turn, as opposed to Hysteria and do something else in the later game. And there's sometimes where if you're playing a deck, you don't have to worry about the turn 3 Hysteria wrecking your board. They have to wait till turn 4, so you can just get a little bit more damage. So there's also a very big nerf to Warlock, though. And Warlocks now cannot run Kazakus. Priest really wasn't running Kazakus that much. It was a little bit, but they're more running Xrella and Blade Master. But now Warlocks can't run Kazakus, which is a pretty big deal. So this nerf is going to matter, but how much, that is the question. Next, we got Crabwriter going from Rush to Wind Fury to Battlecry, gain Wind Fury this turn only. And this is interesting because the card is still playable now. I was thinking if it was going to 1/3, it would just be unplayable, but now it can actually contest boards. It can actually fight. It can kind of, be used to come back. If your opponent plays 2 1/1s, it can kill both of those. So it still's got that explosive effect, but it's going to be less like dealing massive damage to the face while buffed. So this card is still playable. But how strong is it? What decks will be really effective? And I think Paladin is going to hurt a lot. I could see it still be playing in Rush Warrior. But yes, definitely. It's actually, I really like the nerf that it still nerfs the card while giving it a chance to still be playable. Because, nerfing it to 3 mana, nerfing it to 3 health, both made it unplayable in my opinion. So, but we'll see. We'll see if it goes to a unplayable card or if it sticks around. Because it's still a 1/4 rush with the Wind Fury effect coming in. So that's quite good. So the Mancrick wife is now going down from a 3/10 to a 3/7. Mancrick's done some grieving and he's not as angry anymore. He's gone through acceptance. So it summons. It used to summon a 3/10. Now it summons a 3/7. Certain decks I think things like Face Hunter won't care about this nerf at all because they get a Mancrick wife out. They're going to crush you because they're just going for the face damage. But I think decks that kind of were using to get multiple Mancricks, think Priest that runs Raise Dead with Mancrick, think Rogue that Shadows with the Mancrick. This actually nerf could be huge because sometimes getting a bunch of Mancricks on the board could be very influential. So it's a thing of that could matter a lot. So next we got buffs. So cards that are getting buffed. And the first we got is Razorboar going from Death Rattle going from a 2 mana 2/2 to a 2 mana 3/2. This is an influential buff. Like this additional attack matters. So the real element is, will the archetype with the other nerfs be strong enough? One of the biggest things holding it back was Paladin. So the buff could absolutely matter. Will it matter? I don't know. But if the archetype is getting better and strong enough, this buff could absolutely matter. So next we got Dark Inquisitor Xanish. Battlecry, reduce all corrupt cards in your deck for all corrupt and corrupted cards. This is the way the card should have been printed. It's dumb that it wasn't. This card is already so bad. Now it's only moderately bad. So I still think this card and archetype never sees play. But this could be 4 mana and it would probably still never see play, but at least might see play. So I think this is a horrible card. I think it will stay horrible. But at least they did the right thing, that making it buff to what it should be. Next, we got Unbound Elemental. Whenever you play a card with Overload, gain +1/+1. This is where it should be, the power level. But I still don't think this is going to matter because Shaman, I just don't think has the tools. But this is definitely the 3 attack going for a 3/4 allows it to trade into a 4/3. So this does matter. So it makes the card more playable, and the idea is more playable. Next, we got Tidal Surge, going from 4 mana to 3 mana. 4 mana was just so bad compared to other cards that were 2 mana lifesteal, deal 3. So you get to play 2 more mana. So now it's more the current power level of stuff. And this allows you to play Kazakus in a more value-heavy Shaman list. So that matters. So now you can run Tidal Surges and Kazakus. So that matters a lot. Sorry. Next, we got Lilypad Lurker going up from a 4/5 to a 5/6. Nice change. These effects are so hard to make happen. So now it actually, if you pull it off, can be a huge tempo swing. So, will elementals be good enough and not predictable enough that your opponent doesn't play around Lilypad Lurker? Probably not, but still a nice step in a direction for a card that isn't good enough right now. And these elemental cards are often should be not understated because they're just not good enough as is, because they're Fiendish Circle going to summon 4/1/1 Ips. This could matter. This has synergy with you can do the Wicked Whisperers, and you also have that, I believe, Ritual of Doom, where if you have 5 or more cards, just sacrifice a minion, get a 5/5. You can do that with an egg. You play an egg on 2, you go Fiendish Circles on 3 Rituals of Doom, and you can then buff it up with the Wicked Whisperers. So this I could definitely see being put in a zoo type deck. It's actually playable now. It's actually pretty good. So aggressive Warlock decks stink right now. So will this be enough to carry it? Probably not. But definitely a buff that, over a course of a year could definitely matter. Deck of Chaos. Now we have a 6 mana unplayable card to a 5 mana unplayable card. Not even going to say much on that. Whirling Combatant. Going from a 2/6 to 3/6, this matters. Now, the Frenzy archetype hasn't been worked out, hasn't been good. So we'll see, but this could be good. Just having a little more attack makes it a little more threatening. So, you know, sometimes the incremental changes in cards that, like, this is not a horrible card. It's like already was a decent card in the right meta. So, you know, if like Token Druid becomes incredibly prevalent, this card could start seeing play. You never know. And it would make sense to see play. So, we'll see, but definitely a card that could see play. Next we got Shield Maiden, going from 6 mana 5/5 to 5 mana 5/5 5 armor. This is kind of like the power level of the current set, because this card used to see play, but it's just not keeping up with the current meta at 6 mana. So now the card is much more playable. Control Warlock archetypes could definitely matter, and with the possibility of Token Druid being good, control warrior archetypes could definitely matter. Control warrior. And the Zoth going to 9 mana and 10 mana. This is actually a stealth buff on Primordial Protector, because when you got the Zoth on Primordial Protector, it was really, really bad. But I think the biggest thing that this is real nice is you run this with Broom now. So you can play this with a Broom on turn 10, and you can develop while removing. And that matters a lot. So definitely the Broom combo can make this very good, and just 1 turn earlier matters. Can't corrupt clowns anymore. So if you're running in a super greedy clown deck, you're probably not going to run anymore, because it's just not going to be balancing it. So anyways, that's all the buffs and nerfs. There's battleground nerfs. I'm not going to be talking about those, but yeah. So bottom line, might make another video on what decks to play, but I think the biggest winner, if you want to win day one, is go play Token Druid. Token Druid is going to be insane. Just so many things got nerfed, and it didn't get nerfed at all. So that's, if I want to win, I'm going to be playing Token Druid. So definitely a big winner. And OTKDH, also I think a big winner. Though it's a higher skill deck. I do have 2 videos that I put out so in the last 2 days on the deck. So check those out if you want to learn that deck. But Token Druid, I think, the biggest winner of the nerf. So go dominate the ladder with Token Druid. Anyway, guys, hope to see you guys on the ladder, and have a good one.